What is up, you guys? So the topic of this video today is going to be about how I would invest $1,000 if I had to start all over again. Now, just as some context, I started investing about a decade ago. I am in my mid to moving towards my upper 20s at this point. I started investing at a pretty young age. I was lucky enough to have some people around me who knew about investing. They saw that I was interested in learning about it, and they educated me and taught me the basics of it and got me started. And then after that, I did a lot of my own research, a lot of proactive work to try and learn more and more about investing, what's involved, how to do it, how to get started to a greater degree. I really just started with a retirement account and did that for a number of years. But then a few years later on, I got really aggressive with investing and just wanted to learn everything I possibly could about it. And that's what I did. And I learned a lot, and I began investing really aggressively. I was working extra jobs just so I can invest as much as possible, all while I was paying off my student loans. So I was getting after it for a little while. You know what I mean? I was working towards my goals, and in that process, I did learn a lot about investing. I made some good investments. I made some bad investments, some good choices, some bad choices. At the end of the day, though, I feel like I have a pretty solid knowledge base when it comes to investing. Again, I've been at this for about a decade at this point, so I've learned a thing or two. There's by no means am I an expert. By no means am I the top stock picker and I could get you rich overnight and buy my course. That's not what this is about. I just want to share with you guys, after investing for a decade, if I was going to start over and I had $1,000 to invest, what would I do? So $1,000 to some may sound like a lot of money, but to be totally, brutally honest with you, $1,000 is not that much money, especially if you're investing it and looking to make good returns on it. If you invest $1,000 and you get, let's say, 10% back in interest or dividends or capital gains or any sort of growth, at the end of the year, you made $100. Now, that's great. It's $100 that you didn't have before, but $100 isn't going to change your life. So that's why I say that $1,000 is not that much money, but it's something. And when it comes to investing, the most important thing is to just get started. So let's get down to what we're looking at here. How would I invest $1,000? If I'm being completely transparent, I would open a Roth IRA and I would put the money in the S&P 500. Now, I may have thrown some terms at you that you aren't aware of, so let me just clarify what that means. A Roth IRA is an investment account. It's a retirement account. Basically, you're allowed to invest after-tax dollars. So this is money that you receive into your bank account after you get paid, right? Like you make a certain amount of money, you pay taxes, and then you get your paycheck. With your paycheck or a portion of your paycheck, you can then go put that money into a specific account called a Roth IRA. So you transfer the money into that account. And then once it's in that account, you can go ahead and buy stocks or bonds or ETFs. Me personally, if I was starting over, I would open that Roth IRA account. I would transfer the $1,000 into that. And then I would invest the money in an ETF that tracks the S&P 500. An ETF is just a basket of different stocks. So think of Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, all these different companies. Rather than buying each one individually, you could just buy a basket. The ETF is the basket that holds all those different companies. So if you buy one share of this ETF, specifically one that tracks the S&P 500, you're buying a small piece of the 500 largest companies in the US stock market. And I think that would be the best and most responsible route as far as someone who's new starting to invest and they have $1,000. Now, that may seem a little bit complicated. Some folks may not want to put it into a retirement account because they may want that money in 5 to 10 years and they don't want to wait until they're 60. That's fine. I understand that. Is it the best bang for your buck? Are you getting the most out of your money if you don't do the Roth IRA? Not necessarily, but again, if it's money that you plan on using within the next year, 5 years, or even 10 years, and you're in your 20s or 30s, then the Roth IRA might not be the best bet for you. So then the next best thing, in my opinion, is to just open a brokerage account. Now, this functions exactly the same way as a Roth IRA. It's an investment account. You transfer money in, and then you can buy stocks, bonds, ETFs, whatever it is you want to invest in. The only difference is, number one, you don't have to wait until you're 60 in order to pull the money out. With a Roth IRA, you do. That's just the nature of a retirement account. It's meant for you when you retire. However, there are tax benefits to a Roth IRA that a brokerage account does not get. So with a brokerage account, let's say you put $1,000 in and you buy a stock and you pick a really good stock and it goes up 50% over the next year. So now you have an additional $500 in there. You went from $1,000 to $1,500 and you sell that stock. If you do that in a brokerage account, you have to pay taxes on that $500 you made. If you do that in a Roth IRA, you don't have to pay taxes because it's a tax advantaged account. It incentivizes people to invest long term, to continue to grow the stock market and keep their money invested long term versus buying and selling in short periods of time. So that's really the difference between a Roth IRA versus a brokerage account. Again, in my opinion, I would prioritize the Roth IRA over the brokerage account. But if you don't want to focus on retirement and you just want to have money invested that you can still access if needed within the next, again, few months, few years, I wouldn't necessarily recommend starting off investing if you're planning on buying and selling within a few months. Like, I'm a long-term guy, but again, to each their own. That's your opinion, and that's something that you have to decide for yourself. But moral of the story, I would choose a Roth IRA, if not brokerage account. I would get that account open, and me personally, I would be investing in an ETF that tracks the S&P 500. My favorite one is VOO. That's Vanguard's S&P 500 index fund, their ETF that tracks the S&P 500. Another small thing that I would like to go ahead and mention is maybe you're not interested in investing in stocks. Maybe you want to do something different. The other thing that I would recommend is investing in yourself. And what I mean by that is investing in ways to build your skill set, become a more valuable asset to whatever it is you want to do, whether that's building a business or gaining a certification to help you move up in your company, whatever the case may be. Investing in yourself is a great investment. So if you're not looking to get involved in the stock market and you want an alternative investment, invest in yourself. And most people would argue that the best investment you can make is in yourself because you keep that investment forever. So that's something else you could think about as well. And a couple of quick pointers, specifically with investing in the stock market. Avoid risky things. Don't try and get into penny stocks or crypto or anything like that. Just invest long term. In my opinion, that's the best way to go, especially if you're starting out, because if you try and make money quickly, buying and selling, investing in high risk, high return assets, you're going to end up losing money. You're going to end up getting discouraged and you're not going to stick with it. So just think long term. And also, as you begin to grow your portfolio and you start to receive, capital, your money starts to grow, you have capital gains, you have dividends, you have interest, reinvest that, right? Don't take that out and go buy a new watch or a new bag or whatever it is. Reinvest that back into your investment, and compound interest will really start to work in your favor. If you don't know what compound interest is, look it up, learn about it. It's a beautiful thing. And I'll just leave it at that. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. Just wanted to talk about what I would do if I was starting over and I had $1,000 to invest. Wanted to share that with you guys. I know it can be a little bit nerve-wracking to get started, so I just wanted to share with you what I would do. So listen, I appreciate you guys checking in as always. If you're new here, I post every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I post all kinds of content about personal finance, life experiences, really anything I feel like talking about. I talk about it, throw it over some gameplay for you guys. So if you like this kind of content, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate you guys supporting me. I have a lot of fun doing this, although I'm not always I don't always have all the free time to do it. Life gets busy. It is what it is, but I'm sticking with it, and I'm staying consistent for you guys because I appreciate your support, and I'm excited about this, and I want to do something special with it. So I appreciate you guys checking in. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.